Look, I ain't here to bash nobody. I'm here to wake you up. See, in this life, who you choose to stand next to, that's a reflection of how you see yourself. A real man can't build an empire if he's laying bricks with the wrong partner. Some women bring peace, growth, clarity, and some just bring noise, drama, and destruction. And if you can't tell the difference, you're going to pay for it with your time, your money, and your peace of mind. So today, we're going to talk about 6 types of women you should never date. Not out of hate, but out of self-respect. Because when you know better, you move better. All right, listen, energy don't lie. You can fake words, fake smiles, fake good intentions, but you can't fake energy. Energy gonna always tell the truth, even when somebody's mouth don't. That's the language of the soul. And once you learn how to read it, you stop getting played by appearances. See, the game don't start when people show up. It starts when they enter your space. The way they move, how they make you feel, how your spirit reacts when they near you. That's the real conversation happening before any words get said. Most people ignore that feeling because they're chasing the surface. They're chasing look, status, or comfort instead of peace, purpose, and growth. But energy gonna always tell you what a person's really about. You ever met somebody that looked perfect on paper, but every time you with them, you leave drained? That's your spirit warning you like, this ain't it. The problem is we override that signal because we want the fantasy more than the truth. But the truth always wins, and energy gonna expose what intentions try to hide. You can tell what kind of person somebody is by what happens after you deal with them. Do you feel motivated, calm, inspired? Or do you feel anxious, confused, and tired? That's a test right there. The wrong energy don't always come loud. Sometimes it's quiet, smooth, seductive. It pull you in with charm, but it take from you without you noticing. One day you wake up and realize you've been running on empty, giving your all to somebody who is just using your light to shine in their darkness. See, when you elevate, you start protecting your energy different. You stop giving everybody access just because they ask for it. You realize peace is a currency too, and not everybody can afford to spend time with you. You start paying attention to the vibe, not the voice, because energy don't care about titles, promises, or history. You can know somebody for years and still outgrow them in one season. That's real. When your frequency change, your circle got to change too. That's not betrayal, that's balance. People out here wearing masks, acting like they solid, but you can feel the cracks when they close. Their smiles say, I'm proud of you, but their energy whisper, I hope you fail. Their words say, I love you, but their actions drain you. You can't argue with energy, man. You gotta listen to it. Protect it like you protect your dream. Because once your peace gets disturbed, everything else follows. Your focus, your grind, your purpose. Real connection feels light. It don't rush, it don't pressure, it don't confuse you. It feels like clarity. When you're with somebody who got real energy, you can breathe different. You don't got to question where you stand. You can talk about your vision without feeling small. That's when you know the energy right. When it makes you more yourself, not less. When it adds to your world instead of taking from it. But the truth is, some people are addicted to chaos because it's familiar. They think drama equals passion and pain equals love. That's the trap. The real power is peace. It's learning to recognize calm as strength. Because once you've been through enough storms, you stop chasing lightning. You just want sunlight that stays. You want energy that matches your mission. So pay attention to how people move around you. Don't get distracted by what they show, feel what they saying. Watch what your body tells you. If your stomach tightens every time they near, that's your spirit saying, protect yourself. If your energy drops after every conversation, that's not connection, that's consumption. And if somebody's presence makes you doubt your own light, that's not love, that's a lesson. Energy don't lie, but it will leave if you keep ignoring it. Every time you settle for bad vibes because you're scared to be alone, you teach your spirit to tolerate pain. Stop doing that. The universe been showing you who's for you and who's not. You just keep looking away because it's inconvenient. But peace ain't convenient either. It's earned. It comes from making hard decisions, from letting go of familiar people with familiar pain. So from now on, don't chase words, chase alignment. Don't chase beauty, chase peace. Don't chase the crowd, chase clarity. Your energy is your empire. Protect it like your name, like your dream, like your life. Because when your energy's right, everything around you aligns. That's when blessings flow easy. That's when you attract people who move like you move. Solid, calm, consistent. That's when you stop surviving and start living. And that's the truth. Energy don't lie. Let me tell you something real. Looks fade, loyalty don't. You can meet somebody who got everything the world tells you to want, the smile, the body, the style, but if their loyalty ain't there, it's all just decoration. Loyalty is the foundation. Without it, the whole structure collapses no matter how good it looks from the outside. Too many people chasing image instead of integrity. They want somebody who looks good next to them, not someone who stands firm behind them when life get real. See, looks might catch your eye, but loyalty keeps your soul steady. When you out here building something, a dream, a business, a legacy, you need people around you that won't fold when the lights dim. You need the type of energy that holds you down when the world tests you, not the kind that disappear when things get uncomfortable. Anybody can celebrate with you when it's easy, but loyalty shows up when it's ugly. Loyalty don't move with the weather. It don't switch sides with attention. It don't flinch when pressure hits. It's rooted in something deeper: respect, consistency, and real love. A lot of people confuse being wanted with being valued. Just cause somebody wants you today don't mean they respect what you represent. Some people want access to your light, not partnership with your grind. They show up when it benefits them, disappear when it costs them. That's not loyalty, that's convenience. A loyal person stay when there's nothing to gain but you. They ride when the gas tank low, when the money tight, when the world quiet. That's real love, and that's rare. I've seen too many folks lose themselves trying to keep somebody who only loved the surface. They start doubting their worth because the one they gave everything to couldn't see beyond appearance. But loyalty ain't about looks, it's about longevity. You can't build forever with somebody who only sees you for the moment. The right person gonna see your flaws and still choose you. They gonna protect your name when you're not around. They gonna move like your reputation means something to them because your bond means something to them. That's the kind of energy that don't come easy, but it's worth everything. Looks might get attention, but loyalty earns trust. And trust, that's a different kind of wealth. You can't buy it, can't fake it, can't post it for likes. It's built slow, through consistency, through time, through real trials. A loyal person don't gotta announce it. Their actions speak every day. You can feel it in how they talk about you, how they move when you're not looking. They don't need reminders to stay solid. It's just who they are. We live in a world where image runs everything. People more loyal to trends than truth, but real ones know substance lasts, surface fades. That's why you can't let yourself get blinded by beauty that got no backbone. Because when life hits, when pain comes, when losses show up, looks don't heal nothing. It's loyalty that holds you together. It's loyalty that reminds you you're not alone when everything's falling apart. That's what love's supposed to feel like, not temporary excitement, but timeless support. You can't teach loyalty. Either somebody got it in them or they don't. It's a reflection of how they was raised, how they love themselves, how they see the world. If they quick to betray others, they'll betray you too. Don't ever think you're the exception to somebody's pattern. Believe what they show you, not what they say. You can't change disloyal into loyal. You can only distance yourself and protect your peace. Find someone who got your back in silence. Someone who don't just stand next to you when it's profitable. Someone who won't expose your weakness when they're angry. Someone who guards your name even when you're not around. That's loyalty. That's partnership. That's love built for the long run. And understand, being loyal don't mean being blind. It don't mean tolerating disrespect or ignoring red flag. Loyalty ain't submission. It's commitment with integrity. It's two people who trust each other enough to move as one, even when nobody's watching. So when you choosing who to build with, stop letting appearance make the decision. The prettiest face might be the emptiest soul, but the one who stays down when you got nothing, that's the one you build the world with. Loyalty overlooks every time. Because in the end, beauty might catch the moment, but loyalty builds the legacy. That's the truth. When the glamour fades, only loyalty remains. Most people don't want to look in the mirror when it's time to face the truth. Accountability, that's rare. Everybody want credit when things go right, but when it go wrong, they start pointing fingers. It's easy to blame the world, your past, your parents, your ex, your boss, but real growth don't start till you say, it's on me. That's where power lives. Accountability ain't weakness, it's ownership. It's saying, yeah, I messed up, but I learned and I'm evolving. Most people too scared to do that because they more focused on looking right than being real. The truth is, accountability separates the ones who talk about change from the ones who actually live it. You can't fix what you keep running from. The moment you stop hiding behind excuses, you start rebuilding your foundation. You start seeing your part in your own pain. That's when you gain control over your story. See, the victim mindset sounds comfortable. It gets you sympathy, it keeps you safe. but it also keeps you stuck. Growth requires honesty. It requires the courage to admit you're the reason some doors close, some bridges burn, some blessings delay. It's heavy, but it's healing. Everybody want to talk about loyalty, respect, and love, but none of that mean anything without accountability. If you can't admit when you're wrong, how you gonna grow? If you can't take correction, how you gonna lead? If you can't reflect on your flaws, how you gonna expect anyone to trust your character? Real ones hold themselves to the same standard they hold others. They don't run from correction. They invite it. They understand accountability don't kill your pride, it builds your discipline. Too many people mistake accountability for attack. You try to tell them how they hurt you, and they start defending instead of listening. That's ego. Ego can't survive in truth. Ego always want to be right, even when it's wrong. But the wise know being right don't mean nothing if you losing people, losing peace, losing growth. Accountability ain't about humiliation, it's about elevation. It's looking at the situation and saying, I see my role in that. I could have moved better. I can do better next time. That's power. That's maturity. Real accountability starts when nobody watching, when you don't just post quotes about self-improvement, you actually live it. You check your tone, your energy, your habits. You ask yourself, am I keeping my word? Am I being fair? Am I showing up the way I said I would? That's what separates the real from the rest. Everybody want to talk about success, but success without accountability turns into arrogance. You start thinking you can do anything and get away with it. But the truth always circles back. Karma don't miss nobody. You ever notice how the most grounded people you meet always take responsibility, even when it ain't all their fault? That's because they understand peace comes from ownership. When you stop blaming others, you stop waiting on them to change. You start changing yourself. That's when you start breaking cycles. Accountability don't just fix your relationships. It fixes your direction. It turns pain into lessons and lessons into wisdom. In this world, everybody chasing validation, but accountability is the real self-respect. When you can call yourself out before the world, dude, that's confidence. That's how you keep your integrity clean. That's how you build trust. People respect the one who owns their mistakes way more than the one who hides behind fake perfection. You can't grow with people who refuse accountability. You can't build with someone who always got a reason, a story, a distraction every time you confront them with truth. That's their way. You can love them, but you can't let them keep you stagnant. Growth requires people who check themselves, not just you. You need people who can say, you right, I messed that up, and mean it. That's how bonds stay strong. At the end of the day, accountability is freedom. It don't chain you, it frees you from repeating the same mistakes. It opens your eyes to what's real. It's how you turn pain into progress. Everybody want to win, but the real victory is self-mastery. Knowing yourself, checking yourself, fixing yourself. So stop running from your part in the story. Own it, learn from it, grow from it. That's where your next level lives. Accountability is rare because it's uncomfortable, but comfort never made anyone great. The real ones, they look in the mirror, face their reflection, and say, I got work to do. Then they do it. That's the difference between talking change and becoming it. That's what separates the noise from the movement. Most people chasing a feeling, not a future. They move for pleasure, not purpose. They want to feel good right now, even if it costs them everything later. But if you living for that next hit of excitement, you're going to stay stuck in the same cycle. Short highs, long regrets. Purpose is different. Purpose ain't about comfort, it's about calling. It's about understanding that every choice you make either feeding your future or starving it. Pleasure feeds your ego. Purpose feeds your soul. See, pleasure easy. It's instant. It don't ask for discipline. It don't demand growth. It just tells you, do what feels good. But everything that feels good ain't good for you. The problem is most people don't learn that till it's too late. They chase temporary feelings and lose permanent blessings. They'll trade focus for distraction, peace for entertainment, loyalty for lust. But when the high fade, reality's still waiting. And reality don't play fair. You gotta decide what you really want out this life, comfort or fulfillment. You can't have both. Purpose gonna test you. It gonna demand you say no. When temptation say yes. It gonna isolate you when you're trying to stay distracted. But it's building you, it's shaping you into something solid. Pleasure don't build character, it just numbs pain. But purpose gives that pain meaning. It takes everything you've been through and turns it into fuel. The truth is, discipline don't feel good. Waking up early, cutting off distractions, saying, No to people that don't align. It's not fun. But every time you choose purpose, you get closer to your potential. Every time you choose pleasure, you push your dreams further away. That's why so many people talk about goals but never reach them. They want results without the sacrifice. But you can't serve two masters. Either you serve in your purpose or you serve in your comfort. The real ones know purpose requires patience. It's not loud, it's not fast, it's consistent. It moves in silence and shows up in results. When you live with purpose, you start protecting your energy different. You start wasting time on temporary people and situations. You realize not everything that excites you deserves your attention. You start saying no more, not because you cold, but because you focus. That's when you start leveling up. Pleasure will always be there to test you. It's the easy road, the one that looks shiny but ends empty. Purpose is the long road. It's lonely sometimes. It don't come with applause in the beginning. You'll question yourself, doubt yourself, feel like giving up. But when you stay the course, that's when the blessings come. Purpose rewards the ones who stay solid through silence. I've seen people lose everything chasing moments that meant nothing. They confuse being happy with being fulfilled. Happiness is a moment, fulfillment is a lifetime. Pleasure fades the second you get it, and then you chasing the next one. But purpose, it keeps you grounded. It gives you reason when life don't make sense. It keeps you moving when motivation gone. That's why people with purpose don't break the same. They bend, but they bounce back. They understand the pain is part of the process. You gotta learn to delay gratification. Everything that's real takes time. A seed don't bloom overnight. A dream don't build in a week. But pleasure will have you digging up your own garden because you're impatient. It'll make you chase shortcuts that lead to dead ends. But purpose teaches you to trust timing, to trust your grind, to trust that what's meant for you can't miss you if you stay ready. You can't mix purpose with pleasure and expect peace. They move different. One feeds your mission, the other feeds your impulses. You gotta decide which one runs your life. The one that wins is the one you feed most. Every time you choose purpose over pleasure, you're proving to yourself that you're serious about your life. You're building habits, character, vision. You're separating yourself from the crowd. You're becoming solid, not just successful, but stable. So ask yourself, what's the point of chasing pleasure if it leaves you empty? What's the point of living for the moment if you're killing your future? Purpose might not always feel good, but it always pays off. Pleasure gives you a rush. Purpose gives you results. At the end of the day, you're either chasing comfort or chasing greatness. You can't do both. Pleasure feels good for the moment. Purpose feels right forever. Choose the one that lasts, because one day the noise gonna fade and all that's left is who you became. And that's when you'll see chasing purpose was the real pleasure all along. Self-respect ain't something you talk about, it's something you live. It's the line that separates who you are from what you'll tolerate. Once you learn to respect yourself, everything around you changes. How you move, who you deal with, what you accept. Most people lose themselves trying to keep others happy, trying to fit in places they've already outgrown. But when you put self-respect first, you stop begging for validation. You start realizing you don't need approval to be valuable. The truth is, the world will test you every day. It'll try to convince you to settle, to lower your standards, to quiet your voice. But self-respect don't fold for attention. It don't chase love that don't love back. It don't entertain energy that feels off. When you really know your worth, you start saying no to things that don't serve your peace. And that no, that's power. Every time you say no to disrespect, you're saying yes to yourself. You ever notice how people treat you different when you stop letting them play with you? That's not arrogance. That's awareness. People only value what you make them earn. When you keep giving your time, your energy, your love to people who don't appreciate it, you're teaching them you'll settle for less. But when you move with self-respect, you set the tone. You show them what kind of access you allow. You show them how to treat you by how you treat yourself. Self-respect means you stop chasing closure and start creating boundaries. You stop explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. You stop proving your worth to people who already decided to overlook it. You stop shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. You realize your peace is priceless, and anybody who costs you that is too expensive to keep. See, a lot of people confuse self-respect with ego. Ego says, I'm better than you. Self-respect says, I'm better than what I'm allowing. It's not about thinking you above anybody. It's about refusing to go beneath yourself. You can still be humble, still be kind, still be giving, but not at the cost of your dignity. The moment you let someone treat you like less, you're teaching the world that you believe it too. Sometimes self-respect means walking away from people you love. It means accepting that love without respect is manipulation. It means realizing not everyone deserves access to you just because they once knew you. Growth requires separation. Peace requires distance. You can forgive and still move on. You can care and still choose yourself. That's maturity, not coldness, not pride, just clarity. Self-respect also means holding yourself accountable. You can't preach value if you don't live it. You can't demand honesty if you lie to yourself. You can't expect loyalty if you keep betraying your own boundaries. Respecting yourself means being real about your flaws and fixing them. It's not just protecting your energy from others, it's protecting your energy from your own bad habits. It's learning to say, I can do better, and then actually doing it. You'll notice something powerful when you start honoring yourself. Peace becomes your standard. Drama stops being entertaining. Chaos stops feeling like home. You stop confusing attention for affection. You start moving different. You don't chase people, you attract your tribe. You don't explain your value, you embody it. You stop waiting for people to treat you right because you're already doing it for yourself. It's crazy how many people will call you selfish the moment you start respecting yourself. But don't let that shake you. They were never comfortable with your boundaries. They were comfortable with your silence. Once you find your voice, they'll call it attitude. That's fine. You ain't here to be understood by everyone. You're here to be respected by yourself. In the end, self-respect is freedom. It's walking away from what doesn't align even when it hurts. It's saying, I choose peace over attention, truth over comfort, and me over pleasing others. That's not weakness, that's strength. It's knowing you can love people without losing yourself in them. It's knowing your word don't drop just because somebody couldn't see it. And that's what life really about. Not chasing love, not chasing approval, but standing on your value. Because once you learn to respect yourself, you stop begging for what's already yours. You move with confidence, with calm, with clarity. You start living on purpose. And anybody that can't match that energy, they just not part of your journey. So keep your head high, your circle small, and your standards unshakable. Don't trade your peace for company. Don't trade your worth for comfort. Remember, when you put self-respect first, everything else falls in place. Listen, I learned something through the journey. You don't just build success, you build alignment. You can't reach peace if you're dating chaos. You can't chase purpose if you're carrying poison. So choose wisely. A queen ain't perfect, but she's present, real and grown with you. That's rare energy. That's where legacy begins. Keep your circle clean. Keep your energy sacred. And always remember, love should never cost your purpose. Because once you lose your vision, you already lost everything.